Well, hello there. So, we're in Orange today. So, that means we're going to be talking about the sacral chakra. We're talking about some sexuality, some fluidity, some creativity. More importantly, I want to talk about dating culture. Because I think it's part of my job while I'm here to improve the relations between the nations of all these different types of cheeks. Because everyone wants to just, we all just want to clap cheeks, okay? That's the truth. We all want it, but we got to stop with some of this negativity, some of this toxicity that's going around. I think the main one I want to hammer in is to just start off firstly by saying I am not in the red pill, okay? I'm not in the black pill. I'm not in any of the pills. I guess you'd say that would make me a clear pill. Because when I look at the red pill, which I used to subscribe to when I was younger, that's more of like the I hate women zone. It's where a lot of those guys go that end up being just like closeted misogynists, where they just pull women because they can and they think that makes them high value. But in actuality, you're scared. You're scared of actually figuring out who you are. You're scared of your deepest desires coming to be, which is true, fulfilling love. That's what we all deep down want, even if we aren't willing to admit it to ourselves. Everyone wants love. But when you're constantly jumping from partner to partner, the main reason we do that is not because you need different cheeks. No, you don't need different cheeks. It's because you're scared of the other person finding out who you really are. You're worried that if you get too close to them, they're going to see right through the mask that you're wearing. And so I'm on team authenticity. That's the team I'm on. I want people to embrace celibacy to a degree until they can fuck like animals. All right? And what does that even mean? Because if I'm not in a relationship, I'm not sleeping around. I want to sleep with someone that I can fall in love with. That's the point here. If you have sex too quickly, you are just going to mask all of the deeper emotions with the drug of oxytocin. It does release. It is a thing. You can try and psyop yourself and be like, oh no, I can still get to know them. I'm like, okay, have a fun time with that. You have sex a couple times, it's going to become the mainstay of that relationship most of the time. That's what leads to situationships most of the time, is you had sex too quickly. The oxytocin hits. It feels good. Oh, baby, it feels good. Busting nuts? That's crazy work. Oh, my God. Girl gets an orgasm. Maybe you get her to do the little squirty squirt. Oh, feels great. Maybe a little bit of ass play. Come on, guys. You know what we're doing here. You got to go crazy in the sack. But if you go crazy in the sack before you get to know somebody, all that oxytocin, it gets released mainly in the female from orgasm. This is not gonna be like unisex. I guess you can apply this if you're gay. But most of the time for guys, we have like a mirroring effect. So if the opposite party has a higher oxytocin profile, we will start to release oxytocin as well. So we will mirror the woman's oxytocin level. If you achieve orgasm as a woman, you're going to release a large amount of this love chemical. And why is that important? Because oxytocin feels amazing. It feels great. It makes you feel like you're on top of the world. This is why couples go through that honeymoon phase when they first start dating, is because you have sex too early on. You don't actually get to know the other person. So it's not like you're in love with their personality. You're not in love with their soul. You're not in love with their authentic nature. You're in love with the drug. And we're all just drug addicts out here. And we need to figure that out. for ourselves. So celibacy it's really nice. You know, I broke my streak a couple months ago, but before that it was over 2 years of not doing anything. No porn, no masturbating, no sex, just kind of figuring myself out. And that period was really important. And the reason it is so important is because when you take time away from the world, when you turn a blind eye to your worldly desires, and sex, for me, I was a demon. I was a demon. I was a naughty boy for a while. So I had to go inward and discover myself. I had to figure out my authentic, true self so I could love myself. Because that is the way to attract love into your life. Because if you don't love yourself, then you're not going to be able to receive love from somebody else. And you're also not going to be able to adequately give them love. And more importantly, you don't even want to be adequately. Like, think about that. Like, oh yeah, I'm just giving the minimal amounts of love. No, like, you want an overflow. You want an abundance of love. That's what we need. We need a love revolution where people actually are not afraid of being themselves, and they share their soul with the other person. So instead of just regular, just fucking, that's what it is, just cheek clapping, where it's mindless, it's mind numbing, it burns your soul a little bit. That's why I went celibate, to be honest. It was not fulfilling at all. I felt worse every single time. Afterwards, I would have sex. If it was just like a hookup, I would feel like dog shit. I would feel awful because it was lustful. I didn't actually want to be with the other person, and the reason I didn't want to date anyone was because I didn't know who the fuck I was. I had no fucking clue. And it's because I constantly hid within these situationships and these relationships and just covered up with that love drug over and over and over again to escape from the reality I didn't want to experience, which is that I was lost and it was uncomfortable. And when you finally, you turn away from all the stuff, you take the alcohol, take that out of the picture. You take the drugs, you take that out of the picture. You take all the stimulation out of the picture. You do a little bit of a dopamine reset, right? Less screen time, less going out, less partying, more just journaling, more sitting with yourself, more meditating. That's when you're going to find yourself. That's when the true you shines forward, because when you are absolutely alone in your own thoughts, that is when those intrusive thoughts from God come in. Because when it's in complete silence, that's when you're actually able to hear them. Or it, or she, whatever makes you comfortable, right? So that's sort of the main reason why I preach the whole celibacy thing. It's not like you're a bad person if you bust nuts. No, not at all. If you know exactly who you are and that's part of your highest path, go ahead. Do it all you want. I just don't see how that's actually a thing. I don't think porn is good for anyone at all. I think watching anything on a screen that is giving you pixelated overstimulation and you are orgasming to it, your brain can't tell the difference if you're orgasming to a human in real life or from something on a screen. So when you continuously fill your mind with that garbage online, you're doing some real fucking damage. Serious damage. Because eventually you start to get what they call diminishing returns. Okay? So the amount of dopamine you get per time that you nut, I love the fact that that we're having this fucking conversation. All right. I need an acronym for this. Diminishing return per nut. DR, so Dr. PN. Dr. Pin? That sounds awful. That sounds terrible. I don't know what we're going to do with that. We're going to figure this one out. All right, but every time you nut, that's why when you first found out how your dick worked, or ladies, your clit worked when you were younger, you could barely touch it and you would have an orgasm. It's because the stimulation, you're not used to it, and so when you do stimulate it, it would be very quick for you to get there. But then over time, you build up a resistance, and this is the diminishing return. See, the more you touch the pickle, the more you're going to have to touch the pickle to get the same amount of dopamine out of the pickle. And eventually, it will get to the point, which I've been at this point, you're going double digits, beating that meat per day. Wild levels of work. It's crazy. And then you can even get to the point where you have a porn addiction and you're in a relationship where you need to watch porn while you're doing very kinky stuff. Otherwise, you can't even keep an erection. Wow. Yeah, you guys want that? Oh, shit. That sounds awful. That's terrible. Guess what? I've been there. Don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. All right? You'll wake up after, falling down that rabbit hole, and your testosterone, I mean, you won't even get hard in the morning. Like, your shit just won't work. You won't be turned on by anything. You're going to be 50 pages deep on Pornhub at 10 in the morning because you're depressed. You don't want to get out of bed. The first thing you do when you wake up, because you got porn brain, is you want to whack off. And then you're like, oh my God, well, what am I going to do the rest of my day? And it starts stressing you out and you don't know what to do. So then you go beat off again. And it's a vicious cycle, okay? It's a vicious cycle of beating your meat, and nobody wants a domestic, okay? So don't be doing that shit. Go celibate for a while. If you're having an issue with dating and relationships, this is the main reason why. You have sex too quickly. You don't actually get to know the other person. And that's where true love is formed, is between the souls. And oxytocin, when you have sex, like I said, too quickly, is like the love drug. It makes you think that you are in love with this other person, and you're really not. And so therefore, you can fall into the trap of basically, you will waste so much time not knowing who you are. Because you'll sit in these relationships for a couple months, you'll think everything is peachy, it'll be the honeymoon period. And then one day you'll wake up and you're like, wow, this person really gets on my nerves. I actually don't like being around them at all. Like, I kind of low-key hate them. And the reason for that is oxytocin, diminishing returns, wore off. You had sex too much, that went down. Now you figured out that there was no underlying love connection in the first place, and that is where situationships come from. Point blank simple. So, time away. Figure out who you are. When you figure out who you are, now you can step into that ideal self, that higher self. And as you step more into that ideal self, you're going to be in a higher vibration. This is happiness right here, okay? This is bliss right here. When you start filling your time with shit that actually gives you energy, that makes you enjoy life, you're going to start attracting to you people that fuck with your energy, that fuck with your vibe. And those are the souls that now you can share yourself with openly, because now you love yourself. You love who you are. So you are able to give love as well as accept love from another human being. You're not going to be stuck in this bullshit mode that we've been sort of trapped in this for a very long time, where we can't turn it off. We can't turn it off. It's not like an actual thing. I'm talking about the mask, the persona, the identity that guys that we throw up, that force field that keeps other people out. And you know, we just have to go into the silence. We have to go into the stillness. We have to discover our true self. And when we start to discover that true self, that's when relationships happen. That's when the beauty happens. So stop chasing relationships. Stop chasing cheeks, because you're just going to push them away. You want to go within first to a state of love. You have to love yourself first, and then when you love yourself, you can embody that love of yourself, and that will attract love into your life. Now, to get back to the red pill that I started with, why I don't like this mentality in the first place, is because it sets up a matrix for you, which is toxic. If you've watched those videos, by the way, guys, you'll know what I'm talking about. Where they're like, man, there's so many bitches out there, so many hoes. They're all thoughts. Just treat women like they're pieces of garbage. Like, think about that mindset. If you install that mindset into your brain and you tell your subconscious that this is the reality that I see, this is the reality that's out there, guess what you're going to see? You're going to see a lot of bitches and hoes. Now, ladies, I'm not saying that this is the actual case. It's not. Just like men, we are not all fuckboys. But if you have the wiring in your head that all men are toxic, that all men are bad, you are going to attract bad men. You are going to attract fuckboys. It's the same shit as the red pill community. It's just on the opposite side. When you see the opposite sex or whatever sex, you want to clap them cheeks. Oh, you just want to get in them cheeks. You got to love them cheeks. You got to speak into existence how amazing your connection is with the opposite sex. Okay? With that person. You have to say, you know what? Women are amazing. I love women. I love seeing how many smart women there are all the time. I only attract kind, gentle, empathetic, nurturing, and caring women into my life. That's all I see. That's all I see. That's all I'm surrounded with. That's all I accept. That's it. Because you are the operant power of your reality. So if you attach enough emotion, which if you're talking about good stuff, like imagine your life being surrounded by literally just all mommies. All right? When I say mommies, I'm talking about that woman that you're just like, I don't even care. Like, I'll get you pregnant tonight. Like, let's go. All right? You are mommy material. You are such a good person. You have a good soul, a good head on your shoulders. You'd make an amazing mom. When you mentally believe and you attach that heart space to it, the emotion, that's all you see, that is what you will see. You will start to see your reality shifting and you won't pay attention to it. Sure, there's always going to be the one-off cases where it's like, okay, that person's really out there. But for the most part, nobody's just out here flagrantly being like a thought or a douchebag. I don't see it. I think a lot of this stuff is just psyoping. Okay? Like the red pill is a psyop. I think women have been really psyop for a long time because there have been a lot of musicians and other people that have come along that want you to believe like, oh yeah, it's always the man's fault. It's always their, it's their issue. They're bad. They're toxic. Throw them out. They're replaceable. We're better than them. All these thoughts create a reality in which, yes, you're just going to attract weak men. And if you constantly talk shit about men, then don't be surprised when your reality is filled with guys that suck. And you're like, why can't I find any good men? Well, it's because you keep speaking into existence the fact that they suck. Like, it's you. It's you. You are the problem. You are the problem. You can't see the good ones because you're too focused on the bad ones. I'm sorry, sweetheart. It's you. And that's why they've done it. That's why they've done it. So we don't grow. We need to start growing, and growing, a part of growing is forgiveness. Both self-forgiveness, which should come first, because if you can't forgive yourself, it's going to be very difficult to forgive other people. Okay? So you have to learn how to love yourself, sit in silence. You have to learn how to forgive yourself for anything that you've been in the past, because you are not your past. You are the now. You are the present moment. You are the identity of your ideal highest self. Okay? So step into that version, speak love and abundance into the universe, and watch as whatever you desire comes to be. Like, if you just want, amazing, I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just regurgitating the same thing. But look, at the end of the day, just focus on the good stuff. Just focus on the good stuff. The bad stuff is there, but it's just for perspective, okay? You'll see the bad stuff, but same thing as meditation. When you go in meditation, when you see the thoughts kind of go through your head, you're just there to observe them. Just observe them. It's the same thing in real life. It's just a walking meditation. So you can observe the stuff that you don't really like, and then you can consciously choose what you do. You don't have to damn, you don't have to judge, you don't have to condemn anything. You don't have to hate anything, you don't have to get mad about anything. You just have to claim what you actually desire. And then just sit within the feeling of the wish fulfilled, of, holy shit, I'm surrounded by beautiful, attractive, empathetic, amazing, nurturing, caring, smart, intelligent women all the time. Why not? Why not? Okay, I love you guys. Namaste. Clean up them fucking thoughts. And let's go!